brothers and sisters, welcome to my channel. My name is Ricardo Sims. For those of you who are just joining, probably you'll have to check out one of my testimonies so you can better understand who I am and what I represent. So I'm just gonna dive into this message straight. This message is for someone, or for those of you who are going through a hard time right now. Spiritual warfare, difficulty, feel like giving up. You're just confused and you're lost and you don't really understand what's going on, and you just feel like God is not there with you. And you probably have made the move of trusting God and kind of start this journey on a path with him, and you feel blindsided. I want to reassure you something. You those things are, just eliminate those things from your thoughts. you know I just recently came to Christ. I had a spiritual encounter in 2020 September, and I gave my life to the Lord on January 31st. So you see, it was a process. God opened my spiritual eyes on September 2020, but I gave my life to him on the 31st of January. However, when I did that, I had to give up my identity of who I thought I was, who I believed I was, who I believe I couldn't be without, couldn't do without. And I had to give that up. I had to give up things and people that was in my life, and places, and things I used to enjoy doing in general. I left all that behind, and let me tell you something. When I did that, I thought that everything would be over with, like all my problems would go away, everything, but it got harder and harder instead of easier. And I just want to tell you that, like, I was dealing with a terrible spiritual warfare, to the point where I was so afraid. I couldn't stay at my house. I had to find a random stranger house from my Snapchat to go and live with. That's how severe it was. I had nowhere to go, no one to lean on, no one would be able to understand what I was going through. And I knew what I was going through was spiritual. You get it? So my eyes had been open in that moment to the spiritual realm, and I could see things, and I felt like I was going to lose my mind. I wanted this to stop. I was just all the time anxious. I was just all the time, worried. I was just, because I really didn't understand what I was going through. I understood, but I didn't really have clarity. I knew this is spiritual, because since I was a child, I was able to feel things, and I saw a few things when I was a kid growing up, to the point where my family thought something was wrong with me, and nothing was wrong with me. God allowed me to learn those things at a tender age, for the time, such as last year, to be able to endure that time. So I want to tell you, the spiritual warfare was so intense. I had to go and live with a random stranger, and that was a whole nother test by God, and that was just me learning another lesson, and thoughting that I found someone who wanted to help me, when that was just a part of the devil wanting to, destroy me. So I want to tell you, I'm going to put a photo here of what I used to do when I was living in my home. When I ran away from my home, basically, and I became technically homeless, living with a total stranger. In my case, in my situation, it was very hard. It was very tough, and I remember one day living in this person's house, and I could feel that this is not where I'm supposed to be. But I'd rather be there in danger than to be in my home, because it was so difficult. And I remember the voice said to me, you cannot trust God and be running away from your home. You have to go back home if you really trust God. And I wavered for like weeks and weeks and weeks, until God allowed the person I was staying with to fully manifest, and showed who they were and what their intentions were for my life and my situation. And I heard them. God opened my ears to hear what they were saying at the right time. So I just got fed up and I went back home. When I got back home, there was demons in my house. Demons, literal demons. That's why I ran away from my home, because there was demons walking up and down in my home. And I remember every time I would try to close my eyes, I would always jump out of my sleep, because it felt like the spirits were trying to give me a heart attack, and I didn't realize that. So I couldn't sleep. When it became night, I couldn't sleep. I've never tried to sleep anytime at night. So imagine being tired and wanting to sleep, but you can't sleep because if you sleep, you're gonna be attacked. It was that severe. It was severe to the point where I had to sleep with the Bible. I put the Bible here, even up on my face. That's how much I just needed protection. You know, I just felt like I needed something to protect me, but I was being protected the whole time, you know, but I didn't understand what I was going through. So I was afraid, I was terrified. And then I started to just, you know, got tired of wanting to be in control. And I said, you know what, God, if you said you're going to protect me, protect me. I don't care anymore. I was so afraid I didn't go outside. I remember wanting to go outside and fear overtake me from, you know, fear overcame me and I couldn't, you know, I couldn't go outside in my home. It's day and I couldn't go outside because I was afraid, you know. But I just want to tell you that those moments were meant to build me and to show me that God protects me. God only allowed the devil to push me into purpose, you know. So I just want to tell you that no matter what you're going through, you will and you can if you just endure and learn the lesson God is trying to teach you. God didn't just want me to know by his words from the Bible that I have authority. He wanted me to figure that out on my own, you know. So me going back into my home and staying there for some months before God gave me like a fresh start. God wasn't going to give me a new home or anything until I go back to square in that same place I was running from, to show him that I know who he is and his promises to me. And that's what I did. And it was hard the first month. It was tough the second month. But as it got third, fourth, fifth, sixth month, I just got fed up. It became normal. If the devil wanted to come, I knew he couldn't do me anything. It was just a scare tactic. And for me to act, you know, crazy and give up on my faith with Christ and the walk, you know. So it was a test and trials, you know, and I am happy to say I passed that, you know. So I'm here to spread that with you, that do not give up, do not give in. The devil cannot do you anything unless you allow him to, you know, and he needs permission from God over your life, you know. And sometimes when things happens in your life, it's because God wants you to wake up. God wants you to get it together. It's just like the book of Job, you know. God asked the devil if he considered his servant Job, just to prove a point to the devil, just to teach, just to see. He already knows Job, you know. So it's the same thing with me. He wanted me, and for us that's going through a tough time or a rough time, God wants us to understand what's going on. But I'm going to put this picture up my door. I remember putting olive oil on my door and cross all the time. My door was destroyed by me putting oil all the time. Oil all the time, every night. I think the more cross I will make out of olive oil, the devil will stop coming through the door. The devil will stop coming, you know. But the moment I fully surrendered and I fully did what God wanted me to do, and I fully accepted that God will protect me, and I trusted him fully, the devil had to flee. You get it? So I just wanted to give somebody hope, and I want you to understand that this message is, you know, probably for you. If it's not, you can share it to somebody else so they can be able to understand. And in anything in life general, it doesn't have to be spiritual warfare. It doesn't have to do anything, have to be anything supernatural. It's just the fact that you have to understand the authority that God gave you, and you have to uphold God to his word. You cannot waver God as if God is, you know, it's the Almighty, you know, the good Almighty. So you have to hold him to that standard of, you know, he doesn't waver his words. So you cannot pretend, or you cannot act as if you don't understand that. You get it? So these words are just to encourage you to understand that it gets better, and you just have to endure, and it's only there to teach you, strengthen you, and give you perseverance, you know, because where God is trying to take you, you're gonna need that. So may God bless you. Thank you for tuning in. Please to like, share, and subscribe, you know. And I have something coming for y'all in 2022. May God bless you. I love y'all so much, and hit that button again. All right.